Sophie, and this is the currently reading tag. Um, so this one is created by Charlie Rainhorse. I hope I'm saying that right. So the first question is, how many books do you usually read at once? Depends. I usually try not to read any more than 3 at a time. But if I'm reading one that is really, really long, like just recently, I finished The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. It's a very long book. Ebook has over 1,000 pages in it, so it's a long book. So I was reading that, and I was reading a couple of other shorter books in between, just so that I could mix it up a little bit, and yeah, so that I felt like I'd completed a few other books too. And I usually read different things. Like I was reading Patrick Rothfuss, Wise Man's Fear, and I read The Gilded Crown by Catherine A. Wilson and Catherine T. Wilson, which is a historical romance. I read a couple of YA ones, a couple of comic books, graphic novels, sort of thing. So I do mix it up quite a bit if I'm reading more than one. If you're reading more than one book at a time, how do you decide when to switch reading? I just pick whatever I feel like reading. I don't try to rotate them or anything. I don't say I'll read 50 pages in this one, then switch or something. I just pick up whatever I feel like. Do you switch bookmarks while you're partway through a book? Not really. I mean, sometimes if I'm reading a book in bed and I've put the bookmark on my bedside table along with a bunch of other bookmarks, I might accidentally pick up a different one, but I don't really worry about it too much. Where do you keep the book you're currently reading? Ebooks, my e-reader will usually live in one of my bags, depending on which one I'm using at the time. At the moment, it's living in my Go bag. Go bag. You put it in his head, so it's in there. Otherwise, it lives on my bedside table next to my bed, because I read my ebook, my e-reader in bed, rather than physical books now, because I've moved my lamp to my computer, so I don't have it above my bed. Other than that, where do I keep them? Just wherever I am. Like, yeah, because the only book I have that I'm currently reading is an ebook, so it's on my e-reader. I was trying to think. I usually just put them wherever. You know, if I'm moving to a different room, I might take it with me or something. I don't really have a set in stone place. Sometimes they're back on the shelf, sometimes they're on my printer, sometimes they're on cross-stitch stuff. Yeah. Where am I? What time of the day do you spend most time reading? Nighttime. I mostly read when I can't sleep, which is anywhere from 9 to 10 p.m. to 9 to 10 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes even later. Sometimes I just don't sleep at all. And it's usually after I've been tossing and turning for a long time. I don't just think, oh no, I'm not going to fall asleep and then pick up a book. I usually wait till I've been tossing and turning for a bit because, yeah, it gets really frustrating. So that's why I keep my e-reader next to my bed, because then I can just pick it up whenever. How long do you typically read for in one go? Depends. If I'm reading because I can't sleep, I'll read till I feel like getting sleep. If I'm reading just for the sake of reading, I might read till I finish the book. It also just really depends on what I'm reading and how into it and stuff I am as well. Do you read hardbacks with the dust jacket on or off? Depends on how frustrating it is. If it's one of the ones that just slip and stuff, I take it off. Otherwise, I just leave it on. But I don't have many hardbacks. I am a paperback person mostly, so I really don't have many hardbacks. And it's probably because of that reason. Which position do you mainly use to read? I usually lay down in bed. Because of my knees, I have a lot of trouble I can't sit in bed because it cuts circulation off. Like, sitting in certain position makes me lose circulation in my lower legs. So if I'm reading, I'm sitting in my wheelchair, in my desk chair, or I'm laying down in bed. Do you take the book you're currently reading with you everywhere you go? Mostly. I don't carry my paperbacks with me as much anymore. If it's a library book, I will, but my own paperbacks, I don't. I mostly carry my e-reader with me now. Because the reason I got an e-reader was because if I was like past the halfway mark of a book, I would carry a second book with me just in case I finished it and needed something else to read. And it was just getting heavy. And because I won't put a bag on the back of my wheelchair because I'm worried about someone coming past and snatching it, I've got to carry it on my lap. So, yeah. How often do you update the progress in the book you're currently reading? When I make a decent chunk, I usually, if I only read 5 to 10 pages, I won't. I'll wait till I get to like 50 pages. Um, but I look at Goodreads every day, so I don't really do a lot of socializing on Goodreads, but I do check it every day. And who would you like to tag? Anyone? I'll put the questions down below too, so if anyone else wants to do this, they can. Even if you're not a booktuber, but you just want to talk about books, why not? Yeah, so I'll see you guys later.